Okay, YouTube. I wanted to make this video based on an article I read about 5 days ago in Forbes magazine. The article is written by the guy by the name of James Morris. Before I start, just wanted to ask for a favor. I was doing my YouTube analytics or analysis, and I found that only 4% of those that watch my videos have as subscribers. 96% that have seen my videos are not subscribers. So I just want to ask for a favor. My plans for this channel is to make it, to bring it to some big things. Huge. And to do that, I would need your help. So before I start, I just want to ask you, if you see this video, would you please scroll down at the bottom of the video and click on the link to subscribe, and there's an icon, a bell icon. If you could also just click on the bell icon, it will notify you every time I upload a video. But please do me a favor, so within months I can get this channel to levels that I hope it to be by just increasing my subscription. Please go to the bottom of the video and click on subscribe. It will be much appreciated. Thank you so kindly in advance. Now I'm going to move on with this video because of the article written by a Forbes magazine writer by the name of James Morris. His question is Formula One dead? I thought it was a great question. The reason why he asked the question are many. First thing was what happened in Abu Dhabi. He wanted to say that a sport of any kind that is no longer following its rules is more like an entertainment than a sport. On Abu Dhabi, I don't have to tell you, you can see my previous videos and see that it was a disaster. It was a disaster. It was an opportunity missed for Formula One. Over 9 million watched the sport live from here to Europe to Africa, Asia, everywhere. I mean, it was one event to not be missed. And people were watching. What happened was what I call on my previous videos, victory by design. Formula One chose the winner, not the rightful winner, by not following the rules. And that's what James Morris's or is Formula One dead question originated from. You can have a sport with no rules. You can have a sport that you make up the quote-unquote rules as you go. You can't call that a sport. That's more like an entertainment, he says, and that's no longer a sport. And many who witnessed that race would agree. I'd say over 80% of those who've seen that race in Abu Dhabi would agree that what happened was unfair, unjust, and lacked credibility. And so that said, I'm going to look at my notes. He said that not only is Formula One in trouble in that regard, is that Formula One, according to the environmental causes that we all aware of today, on the COP26, Formula One cars have a fuel consumption of no more than 6 miles per gallon. 6 miles per gallon. And despite it being known, Formula One has no plans of making a change until the year 2030. 2030. By year 2030, they plan to use synthetic fuel such as hydrogen and so on. And that what's shocking is that Formula One itself admitted in 2019 that they are aware that they actually emit 256,000 tons of CO2e in the environment. 256,000 tons of CO2e in the environment per year. excuse the background noise, that's the AC. That's like 55,626 your cars and my cars emit per year. Formula One itself emits, again, I said, 256,000 tons of CO2e in the environment. That's as much as 55,226 cars that you and I drive. And guess what? They have no plans. Formula One has no plans of being net zero carbon before year 2030. Despite all that Formula One, the mess that Formula has been involved, and the lack of futuristic vision, Formula One's latest management, FIA newest after Jean Todt expired his term, first comment was more, how do we not forgive? We will not forgive Lewis Hamilton for not attending the award ceremony in France than to address the issues of concern that the fans have witnessed the disastrous outcome in Abu Dhabi. Would you believe that the new leadership includes the wife of the former head of Formula One or owner, Bernie Ecclestone? He's 91 years old. More than 91 years old now, as of today. But he's at least 91 years old. He was engaged to a woman that was age 35, that is, I believe, currently 46 years younger than Bernie Ecclestone. 46 years younger than Bernie Ecclestone is Bernie Ecclestone's wife, according to sources. That 46-year-old is nothing, in my opinion, than an extension of Bernie Ecclestone's long hands into Formula One. The reason why everyone should be worried about that person being involved, Mrs. Ecclestone, who happens to be 46 years younger than a 91-year-old Bernie Ecclestone, is that we all should just go back, read comments from Bernie Ecclestone about diversity in the sport, in particular about his views of Lewis Hamilton. Read it, listen to it, and you will be in shock that a sport that should be as progressive as Formula One, who's an American-owned company, Liberty Media owns Formula One. Formula One is a publicly traded company, Formula One Group, on NASDAQ. You can buy the shares of Formula One on NASDAQ. Let me tell you, how that is possible is yet to be proven to me. How can a sport so advanced, a publicly traded company, I'm talking from someone who had an 11 years SEC registered license, for 11 years, aware of all rules, regulation governing a Fair Act of 1933 and 1934. Formula One has a leadership that's more antiquated than I can't come up with the exact word I want to use, but it doesn't seem right, and it's destined for failure. Now, he went on to talk about Lewis Hamilton's background. Lewis Hamilton, we all know, has a mixed race background. Beside the mixed race background, he came from not much. Unlike most Formula One drivers, you got guys like, hey, I like Mick Schumacher. His dad is a billionaire, ex-Formula One driver. You got Nicholas Latifi. That is a billionaire. You got Mazepin from Russia. That is a billionaire. Lewis Hamilton is the opposite of that. He came from nothing. He often considered himself to the Jamaican movie Cool Runnings, the story. And if you've seen that movie, you'll understand it. So despite all the challenges, Lewis Hamilton became the most successful ever Formula One driver in history. With all the challenges, his commitment, his dedication, his talent, from the age of 5 years old, from remote control cars, this is shown his talent, his dedication, his commitment, and the way he carries himself is exemplary, worldwide, period. Now, he moved on to talk about Formula E and maybe what the resemblance of Formula E or lack of resemblance of Formula E to Formula One. It's been 7 years that Formula E has been in play. And as a junkie, motorsport junkie, a guy who not only loves Formula One, followed it religiously from 1997, WRC, uh, MotoGP, the Tour de France, the Paris-Dakar Rally. I mean, there is no motorsport that the world acknowledges that I don't actually follow and haven't been following from 15 years or longer. 15 years or longer. Formula E, I try to follow. As a matter of fact, I'll show you right here. This is a Neo hat who is a Formula E competitor. I bought the Neo hat because I was a shareholder of Neo. Made a lot of money on Neo, by the way. Bought it at, I think, 18, went up to $70 a share. I sold it, it's been down, and I still believe in the company. But I was a Neo shareholder. And I just wanted to show the proof. It's always in the pudding. I try to support Formula E. And this is why I can't follow Formula E. Formula E just lacks the soul of Formula One. First time I ever seen a Formula One, it was by accident. It was the way the car changed direction, and it was also the noise level, the engine noise the V10 were making at the time. Formula E doesn't have it. And he talked about the lack of Formula E actually having to compete on like Formula One tracks, like Monza, Spa, Francorchamps, even the US Grand Prix, Indy, where I've been twice. Formula E doesn't have that. And then he moves on to talk about the latest, maybe even the greatest, Extreme E. Extreme E, he says, James Morris talked about, unlike Formula E and Formula One, they actually have SUVs, unlike more like a track car setup, but they electric. And Formula E also chooses very sequential, up-to-date, environmentally conscious, relatable places to race, like Senegal. I like Senegal because I was born in Senegal. So it actually brings it back to home. It also races all over the country, all over the world, including Greenland, where it talks about the benefits of being environmentally conscious. Our footprint is vital to our future. We've seen it, we know it. If you don't, do your homework and you realize it. Now, what makes Formula Extreme E special? Not that Formula One used to be special. What makes Extreme E different is that Extreme E has co-drivers of a male and a female. Both drivers drive equally. Yeah, Formula Extreme E has yet a non-white driver, but it has, for the first time, an equal gender, a gender equity program where there's a male and a female driver that share the driving 100% of the time. The issue about Formula Extreme E, like he says, is that the cars are not as reliable as they should be, in his opinion, and I agree. They break down often, and because of the electricity that they actually use, they don't also have the longer range that would have given them maybe a more entertaining races. But Formula E, by having a female and a male driver, has shown Formula One that you don't have to be mutually exclusive. Gender equity is important to anything to do with the future. This is important. And what else he talked about, the fact that Formula E, unfortunately, only has about 6 races a year. So it's too gapped. The distance between one race to another is a month. So it's harder for people that care, like myself, that follow every motorsport in general. Sorry, I don't follow NASCAR as much. But if Formula E has some things to improve, but they're way ahead of Formula One. And what Formula One did in Abu Dhabi, It's disgraceful. It's immoral. And by them coming back with the new leadership, including Bernie Eccleston's 91-year-old person, who is a hater, in my opinion, with a 46-year-old younger wife on the leadership of Formula One, who is more concerned about Lewis Hamilton not attending the award ceremony in France than speaking about the injustices that took place in Abu Dhabi, which, by the way, I'm going to conclude by saying Lewis Hamilton is today 8-time World Championship Formula One champion. 8 times. No matter what someone tried to tell you, I said on my tweets, never let them believe you. Never let them make you believe otherwise. Excuse me. Never let them make you believe otherwise. Lewis Hamilton is the rightful winner of the 2021 F1 championship for the 8th time, period. I started by asking for you guys, ladies and gentlemen, to please do me a favor, scroll at the bottom of the video, subscribe, and give me your input. Help me improve the channel. With your subscription, I'll have the ability to make better videos, better editing, and bring this channel to where I believe it deserves, on top. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe. Have a great day.